Hello everyone, this is the Black Nationalist coming back at you with another timely video. So right now, what's happening in the news that there was a violent clash that took place at the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, which is planned on 85 acres campus that has been branded as Cop City by opponents who say the complex will propagate police militarization and harm to the community. Well, right now they are saying that at least, according to the Associated Press, that there are at least 35 detained after violence. And also that they're saying that the names of those in custody and the criminal charges against them were not immediately available. So what most is concerning is that most of these people were not from the Atlanta area. So that is what is being said, that these individuals are not from the Atlanta area, according to the police chief, Darian. I can't pronounce his last name, but he was the police chief. He did say that this was a coordinated attack at the site. And on the video, there's a video that shows that there are heavy equipments are in flame, that there is a lot of construction equipment that has been destroyed. Protesters dressed in all black threw large rocks, bricks, and Molotov cocktails and fireworks at the police officers on Sunday at the construction site, which is where it had took place. So what I really want to talk about is how black people in Atlanta, unfortunately, they are going to be blamed for this. Now, most of these people, they are not from the Atlanta area. Most of them are not from the Atlanta area. It reminds me of the protest that took place over with George Floyd. And here in Illinois, there was a riot. And near me, we had stores that has never been vandalized before, has been vandalized. And a lot of the black businesses, unfortunately, their stores were vandalized. So I'm saying that to say this, that individuals who come in from outside are the ones that's causing the problems. And the ones who cause the problems, they are white. Because over here near me, you have, I think it's on Stony and, is it Stony and 69th? I believe. But there is a Chase Bank over there. And I remember seeing that it was all busted up. It was all busted up. And we was like, what in the world was going on here? Because I'm like, I know black people are not going to just bust up this bank on over here. We know that that was not the case. See, we have a lot of provocateurs out here. Remember in my video when I talked about Gloria Steinem and about her being a CIA operative, and how one of her goals was to join a lot of riots to provoke these riots that took place. That was part of her role. Now, who is to say that a lot of these individuals who's coming from out of the Atlanta area are not part of the government alphabet city? The CIA or the FBI or Homeland Security or whoever, or DOJ, whatever the case may be. Who is to say that these individuals are not getting online and telling folks to come and to meet up? Because for this to happen in Atlanta, and then they have this on camera, and they have arrested 35 people, and many of them are not from the Atlanta area. Our people are going to be targeted. And the reason why I say that they are going to be targeted is because we know that they are trying to push a tough on crime. The lawmakers are trying to push something that is going to be tough on crime, making it a felony, rioting a felony in Georgia instead of a misdemeanor. And they also want to consider creating a separate crime for burning police vehicles. So say, for example, if there's another unjust shooting that took place of our people, and our people are out here rioting, instead of getting a misdemeanor in Georgia, they could catch a felony. And that felony, and that can be 30 years in prison. That's how long that the lawmakers are considering to strengthening the penalty by classifying domestic terrorism as a serious violent felony. But this is going to affect our people because more black people, there's a lot of black people that lives in ATL. So it just goes to show you, because you have black people who lives there, especially those so-called high class black people who lives there. It's like this is the mecca for black people with money. Well, obviously it's not, because if you're caught out here rioting, because if I'm not mistaken, it was this girl named Portia Williams from the Housewives of Atlanta, and she was rioting and she was caught and they showed her being arrested. Well, if she was to try to pull the stunt like that again, she could face 30 years in prison. So your black mecca, which is Atlanta, it's not going to be what you think it is. I don't understand as to how in the world black people think that they own a particular city when just because they have themselves, they used to have a black mayor there, but she's no longer there. Miss Adams, no, not her. I think it's Adams. I can't think of her name right at the moment, but I don't understand how black people can think that this is their area when really they don't own any land. They don't own any land in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia. So right now they're trying to make it a whole lot difficult for black people who are living there, who may want to protest against the police. So you have to be careful also of those who you surround yourself with as well, because you don't know if those who you surround yourself with is going to put you in harm's way or not. So if you have a friend that's out here saying, let's go out here and let's join this type of group, don't do it. Do not join any of these groups where these people are dressing up in all black. Like I said, we don't know if it's CIA or if it's FBI or Antifa. We don't know if it's any of those people, because it has been shown and documented that a lot of these people from those alphabet government agencies, they provoke a lot in the rioting. They do provoke a lot of people, which is to push them into fear and also to cause a lot of problems. So if you are in Atlanta, you just need to be even more diligent and more careful, because they're calling this a domestic terrorist act. They're calling this domestic terrorism. That's what they're calling it right now, because they have destroyed so much and they saw how they was attacking the police. And then they also are saying that they are expecting more protests to be coming into the city to come in a few days as well. More protests are planned in the coming days, the police said. So just be careful out there, family. Please make sure that you don't have any of your family members outside of Atlanta, if they are in Atlanta, to join in with this nonsense, because I don't want our people to get mixed up with this. I do not want our people to be mixed up with this. And if there are any of our people mixed up with this, they're going to throw the entire book at them. That's what's going to happen. They may give a tap on the wrist for white people, but when it comes to black people, they throw the entire book at you. They make no distinction about that. They let it be known that we are going to throw the entire courthouse at you when you are a black person. Like I said, they want to get tougher on crimes. They want to get tougher on people who are rioting. They calling this an urban warfare. That's what they are calling this. So what they want to do, instead of rioting being a misdemeanor, it's going to be a felony, which is going to carry 30 years in prison. And you cannot have parole unless you serve at least 30 years in prison. So that's a very long time. And like I said, a lot of this stuff, they're going to try to pin it upon our people, because they know that Atlanta is dominated by the vast majority of black people. I don't want our people to be caught up in this mess. As they may mention, the story goes is that, according to the Associated Press article, that many of these people were not from Atlanta. And like I said, every time when we be seeing on videos of people dressed in black be busting out windows, they be busting out cars, and they be turning over police cars and other stuff like that, we don't know who they are affiliated with. Some of them have been caught as being police officers themselves for doing stuff like that. But they always want to say that black people are the ones that's tearing up our own city when a riot does pop off. No, we don't be tearing up our city. We don't. These be provocateurs who come up here from different states to tear up the city, and we get the blame. It's always easier to blame black people for crimes because we are weak and we are poor. We are poor people, so it's so much easier to pinpoint stuff on us. And not only just that, we are the most hated group in the world. Not just in America, but in the world. So I just want to come at you guys with this latest story. And I will be back on here with another story, hopefully by tomorrow. And I hope you all enjoy your day.